With the M.A.S.S device, over 10,000 tons of matter can be teleported to or from anywhere on Earth. With a Hasbro Pulse Premium account, over 10,000 tons of dollars will be teleported annually to the toy gods over at Hasbro. Better yet, the M.A.S.S device is the latest subline for G.I. Joe, pushing away from Tiger Force and Python Patrol, at least temporarily, to tell a mini narrative from Sunbow within the line. While the M.A.S.S device itself would make for another HasLab-sized project, Hasbro instead opted to include 3 extremely rare elemental catalysts: a red radioactive crystal, a deep blue heavy water, and the metallic ore from a meteorite. It's yellow. In this vid, your boy Moody will rank and mini review the first wave of G.I. Joe Classified M.A.S.S device. That said, do you think we will see a follow-up to this wave? Like, subscribe, and let your boy know in the comments who you'd like to see from the pivotal Sunbow story. Or do you think Hasbro should just shift away to another moment from a real American hero? Let me know in the comments below. That said, let's get to the G.I. Joe Classified M.A.S.S device Wave 1 ranking and review. And splashing in at number 3, it's the G.I. Joe Diver versus Cobra Diver M.A.S.S device set, exclusive to Target and limited quantities on Hasbro Pulse. I actually can't believe these things sold out as fast as they did. I mean, these look like ketchup and mustard, the ultimate peg warming pack ever. But kudos to Hasbro for giving us 8,000% reuse with this set. It's $60. It's garish yellow. I mean, we like red and everything, but it's cherry red. These are not the figures you've been looking for, but yet they're completely sold out on Target and Pulse. It just blows my mind. And one other dope note we get into before we get into the reuse and everything. I don't know if it's just I've had too much caffeine. My arms are shaking here. But we got the G.I. Joe star logo here. Insignia on the wrist comm, so it's the opposite. Pretty dope on the Cobra one. And then if you want to take the comm from the Joe, we have the Cobra one, so it's mapping it underwater where they are. So I thought that was cool, a very nice touch. But just diving back into the figs, it is, you know, the reuse we all know and love from our Navy diver there, Recon diver, and Torpedo. Pretty much the same thing. We don't have this overlay web gear, but everything else is pretty much the same. I mean, even the side panels there on the legs and the knife sheath is pretty much the same. All the legs, all that. Just a nice job painting to get that 25th classic look as an ode to Sunbow and the M.A.S.S device. So during the episode, the heavy water is found in one of the world's deepest trenches, which I don't remember. So taking out of the 3, got ourselves some blue chapstick, and it's looking nice and clear. But I don't know, there could have been better detail on here. It just seems like a translucent, you know, literally lipstick. Like they didn't do a whole lot with these. I don't hate it. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Of course, you might remember all of this from Dr. Mindbender, the original Pulse one. This will stick on the bottom like the brain, and then this cap fits in. I think for some reason, this cap will not fit in this one. It's too big, so it's oversized for some reason. It's really weird. But this will fit in there over the brain. So, but yeah, pretty much the same thing. Let's see, is this smaller? No, I mean, it is the same size. For some reason, it's not. Oh, it fits in that one. That is really weird. I don't know. Maybe there was another one. I don't remember. Was there 2? Maybe I lost it. Anyway, that's the blue water that helps operate the Cobra M.A.S.S device. All right, while these faces do look a little familiar, they are new from what I gather. Got some real bushy eyebrows on the Cobra guy. Get some nice blue eyes on him, but he does look a little bit like Doc and the other Navy diver. You can also swap these out. And then, yeah, I mean, again, they look familiar, the faces. I mean, this looks a little familiar too, but you get yourself a scar. And they just kind of made some alterations on faces they already had. For some reason, this face, you know, the African American face just tends to look more similar than the Caucasian face. I wish there was like a little more, I don't know, a little more different detail. Seems to be running the same kind of look. I'm not sure why, but yeah, they're both good sculpts. You can mix and match. I mean, again, $60 each. I mean, they're gonna make $120+ off people for just 1000% reuse. Love the Joe insignia on there. You got the Cobra one. I know which one I'm going with. I mean, yellow is just whatever. But now you know, you've seen reviews on Torpedo and Recon Diver, but just to give you a look, we don't have to go too wacky, too crazy. It's just repainted, but they did have a nice translucent green. So we'll slap that over his skull. You know, that fits over there. And yeah, I don't know if you can see through it too much. Turn the brightness up there, yeah. Oh, it's kind of painted in, so it isn't translucent. It looks like it though. They did such a great job with it, giving it a nice, you know, a glassy window kind of feel there. But loving the detail on all this. Pretty much the same thing, but they did a nice job with the silvers bouncing off the yellows. We get another quick comparison. This time I believe this is see-through. I think I can see the eyes through there. Or maybe it's an illusion, but they're like a nice dark blue, Cobra blue, which will go good. And then these were clear from the Navy, but lacked, you know, pretty much stayed gray. I don't believe we had this rebreather piece that we did here, so it's a little different setup than the diver. And then now for the oxygen tank backpacks comparison. Yeah, I didn't realize this was just ever a boring flat black one on Torpedo, and then this was the Navy one with the Cobra kills and everything, which is cool. But yeah, there's kind of a comparison. Pretty much the same thing you've been getting. And we got fins, we got flippers. So again, isn't this the most exciting damn review ever? It's ketchup and mustard repaints of this. It's such a waste of freaking time, but that's what we're gonna do. All reviews are probably wastes of time, but that's what we're doing. We're wasting time. We shouldn't be this passionate about the hobby. We shouldn't put that much work into it, guys. Really, like, what are we doing? We're wasting our lives away. Same shit. Ketchup and mustard, same thing. You've seen it before. This one's got the OD green on the bottom, making it a little different, but and a shinier harpoon at the end. But yeah, same shizzle. NGL was kind of shocked that we got a mustard colored XMLR. That's cool. This is CoverGirls, I believe, but we'll see another one later in the video. And strangely, this yellow is a lot different. It is like golden. Probably hard to see on camera, but this is like a much darker, like a golden and not just yellow. Like this is mustard yellow and this is a golden, so they didn't match too much, which I'm fine with. You don't need everything to match. That'd just be kooky. And actually, now that I look at it, this yellow matches that. I think the backpack is still a lighter yellow. So yeah, the hoses and the mask match the butt of the gun. We've got two bolo machetes. Same for each one. We've seen this before. And I believe each diver has their own little sheath this goes in. I believe that's how we do it. That's neat. It's going to hang a little loose depending on how you do it, but I don't know, I guess it's fine. They're underwater. So it should be cool. Yeah, this guy has it too. Oop. And you can kind of just throw it in there. I don't know if we got it the right way or not, but yeah, just kind of hangs there. And we got knives. We've seen all these. Oh, this one has like the hook on it, so it's a little different. And you got the yellow one too. Imagine that. I'll throw that in there. Man, I'm telling you, the excitement is just wearing off the screen right now. I am shaking with excitement. And we got this twin Sawyer MPX SMGs, one with a yellow handle and one with black. They didn't bother going red with that one. So, yeah, very strange. This will obviously go with Cobra. And it might have just been they counted all the paint apps. I know every time they paint something, it's part of the cost. So keeping this black probably kept them right in line. And then finally, for the weapons, we've got a pair of Nerf guns. You got the Nerf Chewbacca blaster thing up top. It would be so cool if this pump handle action worked, or I should say the pump handle gauge. Then we get the Alpha Strike Mantis dart blaster. So it's got a targeting scope up top. So, I mean, as far as Nerf guns are concerned, these are cool, and it's nice that they had the little paint, but we've seen this with like Twilight Guard and some other figures. But, I never hated this one, even though it's a total Nerf gun. I mean, you can actually just go and buy this one-to-one. And then, yeah, we've seen pretty much a rip-off of what Chewie had. But, whatever. They're all right. And lastly, we've got this breathing apparatus thing, which is, really nice. Same one we got with the Navy, which had the Joe symbol on it. So we only got one. We didn't get an extra. And yeah, that comes apart, obviously. So pop that in there, and it's got a little bit of Watchman clock action. Yeah, see, that one didn't even have a sticker on it. It's just flat black. You can compare the turbines. There you go. Inside doesn't actually. Yeah, I don't remember if this actually blows or anything like that. But yeah, there you go. So it's cool they at least included one. But just Cobra. Well, no need for comparison shots because they've been there the whole time. Except this time I included my Cobra Retro eel. And I'm really proud of this eel. I'm sure I've shown it on past videos a long time ago, but shout out to Mark II Design for just nailing this. It's a giant oxygen backpack thing, but that's how it was back in the O-ring. So it's cool that he made it oversized and completely nailed the spear gun, and one of my all-time favorite builders, if not my favorite, period. Alley Viper and I would say Cobra Eel are 1 and 2 of my all-time favorite builders. And so when they came out of the retro and didn't have the classic weapons, I was very disappointed. I'm not disappointed in the set. I just don't think it's good. You want to get the blue water for the M.A.S.S device, and you got to pay $60. This is clearance fodder waiting to happen. There's a lot of hype, and props to Hasbro. I mean, I give the marketing on this and the reuse a 10 out of 5. Like, this is the greatest capitalization of reuse ever. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it is iconic. They are in the cartoon. There's some 25th nods, and I mean, for what they did, the execution's good overall for what it is, but I can't go any higher than a 3. I'm not excited for it, and I have it because I'm all in and I do reviews, guys. That's it. But if I was someone cherry picking, no way am I touching this. You know what I mean? Like, I get one of each of these, and no way, never mind. And I am not building these at all. It's not my place. So 3 out of 5 whiskeys for ketchup and mustard Cobra Diver versus GIJoe Diver set. But way to go, Hasbro. Coming in at number 2, it's Breaker V2. That's right, Breaker 19. We got him. And he's here, and he's all yours and mine. Because he's flooding targets right now, he won't be that hard to find. I'm not trying to rhyme, but it's just happening all the time. Man, I should just do a freestyle battle in shit. But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to review toys. The thing that sticks out the most to this guy is the blowing bubble sculpt straight from Hasbro. We'll talk about the Meteorite in a little bit. We'll compare them all at the end of the vid, of course. In the meantime, you get a lot of reuse, and that's perfect for a Target exclusive. Don't get it twisted. Whenever things are Walmart, Target, Amazon exclusive, Pulse exclusive, unless it's a major vehicle or some kind of deluxe from a convention, it should have a lot of reuse. We got Grunt's web gear right away. I believe he's got the same torso. We'll have to check that out in a bit. And we'll do some comparisons. Starting, of course, with the OG Breaker. We'll call him Breaker V1 and Breaker V2. It's going to get real confusing because we now have V2 in the classified line. I mean, Snake Eyes has what, V8s at this point? Maybe V9s? Roadblock, V6s? We'll have to figure that out someday. I thought this Breaker was dope. I mean, he's got a shaky ass torso that's been pretty bad, similar to a few of the Snake Eyes and some of the Cobra Vipers. This is an instant upgrade. I don't think it's figure of the year or anything like that. I definitely liked his Jake Gyllenhaal look. Now, I joked, yeah, every guy with a beard, brunette dude, it's probably me. I know you guys are like, oh, it's Dan Larson, and every time someone has a mustache and a big beard and it's a bigger guy, it's Lenny. Let's get creative. There's got to be someone else besides me. Comparing, we've got all new parts, and that's what I like, because we got Snake Eyes V4, which I'll be doing a review of soon in another ranking video, and they just gave all upgrades. Even the boots, everything here is different. I think even the arms are different. Yeah, they are, because his sleeves are rolled up all the way up. Got pins. Wow, this was like what, number 14 in the line? It's crazy that Breaker was 14 of all the characters, right? But I mean, he still had a great face sculpt, still had a lot to offer. I think this is a gridiron doodad and this crazy M203. But I just wanted to make him a little different. I don't know how he's going to be talking on the phone and communicating to the battalion when he's got a grenade launcher. But then again, he can shoot from afar and make some calls. We'll move that one out of the way. We'll get to Recondo because they do share the same arms. There are other characters too. I think Doc, I mean, just looking at the sleeves, has a similar color. It looks like 1324, so 124 or 1924. I don't know. You guys tell me the significance. That's when the M.A.S.S device hit, the volcano possibly, from the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire. You know, that whole Devil's Cauldron thing in South America. And we might as well just talk about it now. Here it is, the M.A.S.S device piece. This is why people were paying crazy money. This little plastic piece, and yeah, it closed. No, that's just my background, but you can pop that off and, you know, pucker up your lips if you want. Same thing going on with Mindbender as we just showed you. But yeah, not a whole lot to it, but man, the fact that they're just throwing these in and the figures are selling well, or at least initially, is pretty brilliant. Just add a little lipstick and man babies will pucker up. That's for sure. Yeah, going down below the torso, we've got OG rock and roll, carded rock and roll, retro rock and roll, boots, legs, knee pads, upper legs, crotch watching. We got it all the same. So we've got that whole lower torso from rock and roll, which completely works. And as mentioned earlier, this Grunt's exact plate carrier just changed the name, so I'm glad there was some reuse. A lot of people wanted an army build before they did the green shirts. Army build, Mr. Graves, and it got tricky because of that. You just need some whiteout or whatever, but let's compare the panels, and it's got some different information. Man, that looks like a Atari 2600 or something on there. What do we got here? It looks like a lot of thumbprint mechanizations, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the scribbly line there better. Looked like a signature, like signing for a package. Everything else is the same. You get the Joe Pro. Looks like the neck is pretty much the same too, huh? Nah, neck's different. That's true. Yeah, so just torso, Recondo arms, Grunt torso. You can see it underneath. Same plate carrier. On the back. Everything's the same, even the same holster here too. Same belt and holster. Yep. Yeah, that's definitely an upgrade. They gave him a tan too. This was a great face sculpt for 5 years ago. I'm not gonna lie. It's still decent to this day. I like the hair. But yeah, everything else, you can see the digital face print, the squint in the eyes. He's not so cartoony, despite being a Sunbow character. You know, they classified him up, and it is a great look. You know, everything looks awesome. Get the hat hair going down, and yeah, just real handsome, real dope. Yeah, just what an improvement, huh? And everything seems to be pretty good. A little red around the ears there, but nothing too wild. So great scan. Getting into the accessories, we get the knife, which, yeah, we've seen a lot of it. Nice silver blade. And go right back in there. He's got 2 side packs, so no drop holster, but there's one on the back. And his M1911, which we've seen a bunch of them in the retro line. I think both CoverGirl and Flint had them, just different kinds. This one is nice. Some people don't like the stick mag point out, but I like all the lines there. We'll get that in the holster. All right. Not too shabby. And then you got your suppressor. If you want to call it a silencer, I'm not going to hold it against you. It's a little gummy. It's not the best, but it's, yeah, you got to go this way. It's fine. It's no big deal. All right, in addition to the Colt, get this backpack, and I believe it is new. Are we going to see this with mainframe? I don't remember. But yeah, minimum detail, minimum paint, but it's fine. Got a lot going on here, even though it's on the back. So how does it fit? It fits in. It's not the worst, but you know, it's a backpack. And then as far as where this hose goes, actually goes in the back of his combat helmet. So, and this is all new. Again, I don't know if this is Mainframe's helmet. So, I mean, it could easily just look up a picture, but you get the walkie device, and that looks good. And then you can stick that in the back of there for heavier communications. Hence them being breaker. And I love these shades. They're originally for buzzer. They're too big for buzzer if they're gridiron. Just feel like I'll have to get something else for buzzer. But these are buzzer's glasses. You know, OG. But they fit in great. Bunch of plump. That helmet on and they look awesome. Look at that. Look great. Feel great. Awesome. Just adds a new dimension to the character. I don't know how he's going to be reading his screens with the glasses, but that could add to the 80s comedy of it. Speaking of which, compare the two sculpts. Blowing bubblegum. Looks like he has darker hair on the right. Is that right, or is that just the lighting? Now it looks the same. Okay, so it's the lighting. Thought for a second it was darker, but now everything looks like it's scruffier beard here. It's got more of a point, so close enough. He's a little more intense with the bubblegum. A little more reserved here. And we'll get the helmet over the bubblegum, which I guess it works. Yeah, it does. Put that underneath. I haven't done this look yet. Plug that in the back. And there we go. He's a fun character. A nice follow-up. I wasn't that thrilled with another breaker. He's like a solid character, not one of my all-time faves, but he knocked it out of the park again. Another good classified breaker. A lot of fun. All right, final assessment of this guy. Whiskeys for OG Sunbow Target exclusive M.A.S.S device breaker. I feel the same way as I do with CoverGirl. Better in hand. I'll say that. Not going to make any year-end list, at least for me. Maybe not many people, but this does fulfill an OG 13 want for many, or at least a Sunbow want. So that's good. And yeah, it's Alvin Kibbe. There you go. His name's right there. Nice work. In the big E4. I'm going to go 3.75-4 just because I wasn't thrilled. No, screw that. I'll go 4 out of 5. I think it's an excellent execution, better in hand, glad to have them. There's so many different, like I always say this, we got multiple Cover Girls, multiple Scarlets, multiple Roadblocks, multiple Snake Eyes, multiple Cobra Commanders, whatever. The list runs on and on. We got 3 or 4 Baroness. It's okay to have 2 of these other characters. Now we're going to have 2 Quick Kick, right? So 3 Beachhead. So it's okay to start having these multiple characters, different versions of them, different sublines, different eras, because you're going to have different options for your shelf, your diorama, your photography. So I think Alvin Kibbe V2 is a welcome addition. Solid 4 out of 5, lands right in the middle, ranked number 2 on this list. And obviously ranked number 1 is GIJoe Classified Snake Eyes version 19. Radioactive Snake Eyes with the polar bear. A fun surprise when they announced this, and it lives up to the hype. Was I that hyped for it? Yes, because I got to cancel a bear. I don't even think it was a polar bear, but a bear from another company that doesn't allow cancellations, but they allowed it for me. Thank God, because this is, what, $70, $65, and that bear alone was like $150, and was not this bear. It was not the essential Sunbow animated bear. So this is the kind of stuff you want to see in a M.A.S.S device Sunbow line. It's not even exclusive either. It's Famazon. So you can get an Amazon. This is the one that's shipping right now. Pulse is shipping August 18th. So this coming weekend. And the polar bear is just something special. I mean, look how cute he is. So obviously the Sunbow Snake Eyes is the Commando Snake Eyes. And before we go any further, what is wrong with this picture? No, not the fact that he's got an Uzi in his left hand and a clip to his right and stuff. I'm saying, what else is wrong with this picture? Yeah, this helmet is different. I was looking everywhere in the collection. I moved earlier this year and realized this is not it. This is a wacky helmet that came with Zartan with the many faces thing, which didn't really make sense. But yeah, it's different. It's crazy that they didn't reuse this mold. Do you guys know the mystery of this helmet? I think it's more fascinating than watching like the 19th review of Polar Bear and Snake Eyes. I'm just enamored by this whole thing. I can't find the helmet. Luckily, roommate is probably not watching this and isn't going to care. I had to grab his for a hot sec to compare, but I was just like blown away. Like, I'm sure I have it because this figure goes for like, what, $150 or something on eBay, the retro that is. But yeah, there's the look. And that's the same. It's the balaclava, like all one piece. It looks a little less than a helmet, but just found that fascinating. It is 1-to-1 all over the place. And I love the coloring on this thing. I mean, purple, blue, my favorite colors. I know you all think my favorite colors are pink. And you might be right. But for this video, but everything is 1-to-1. So we don't need to review this. You at least dreamed of this figure, Commando Snake Eyes. So that is that. We'll go over accessories though. And it looks like we got a different version of the 1911 Colt. This is the one that we just looked at that came with Breaker. It's also the same one that came with Commando Snake Eyes. But we've got this version of it that doesn't have the stick mag out of it. And it has different lines in the front and none in the back. But pretty much the same gun. More or less the same gun. I mean, it shoots out the same barrel. So that's why it's a 1911, if you look at that. But yeah, I mean, it's a little smaller too, I think. It's about the same. Also includes this knife. Seen it a million times. Slips in there. Doesn't have all the flash grenades that we had with this one on the back. It doesn't include it, as far as I know, unless I left it in the package. Something like that. But if you want to get a nice close-up look and you haven't watched another review, then I am completely honored, flattered, and amazed. But yeah, it's a great figure. Where does Sunbow Snake Eyes rank among the classified Snake Eyes for you? Where do you place this guy? That would be a good video, huh? Now, how about this Snake Eyes? So, pretty good. A little disheveled from Vietnam, but not quite the grotesque one we've seen in the comics. This is a pretty good mix, though. And finally, for the arms, we've got the XMLR 3A. It's his trusty laser rifle. Love seeing more of it in the line. But probably my biggest critique of the Snake Eyes is that we don't get enough of the radioactive effects. The modern era version, or 25th or what have you, had the orange radiation all over the body. We talked about that on a prior episode of A Toy Kind of Mood. But here we simply just have the radiation hands, which are cool here because they glow in the dark. Yee. With the fisties. That is dope. I mean, that's some Iron Fist shit right there that we should see. Amen. Oh yes, my precious Sephora tulip lipstick, yeah. Sorry, terrible Paul Bearer impression, but this shit lights up too, man. That's a lot of S words for me in this review, but that's what's gonna happen when you get everything last. But yeah, here we go. The red radioactive crystal element that was located at the Arctic Sea of Sephora ice. Just looks like lipstick, but what do we know about that, bros? In addition to the element, we also have this canister, which doesn't articulate or open up. It has a little bit of PVC on the handles, but at least you can hold onto it. Now, I don't know if it's like a finger lantern, something like that. This does not glow in the dark either, this pink. At least here you can grip onto this canister. Yeah, Bear can put this in his mouth as long as it's on the handles. Pretty cool, pretty cool. It doesn't articulate the jaw, which we'll get into, so none of the stuff will really just sit there. I mean, you might fight with it for a while, maybe it'll stick. Same with the M.A.S.S device piece, maybe the lower, yeah, it's not really sticking. As for the bear itself, this is by far Hasbro's most ambitious pet. It's just crazy, and I know we all popped when this thing was revealed. And just to jump right into scale comparisons, we've got Pork Belly, and yeah, then we got ourselves Junkyard. And let's throw the scale all out of whack because we got Fiona. These two are just amazing. But I do wish this had an articulated jaw. Two face sculpts, hard to complain about, but I'm going to anyway because this is just so much better. And you can't compare the bear without the character that was actually in the show, Timber, and don't remember whether it was White Timber or Dark Timber. I'm guessing it was this one, but this is Arctic Timber from the Renegades pack, in case you wanted to go that way. And they both have those scars on the face. Not like Timber doesn't there either, but... Whoop. And if you're wondering what happened to Timber moments earlier, this was it. That's why the head plopped off. Yeah, you got this articulated bear trap, which Timber himself plopped into, articulated there. And it's got like a little ball joint there to whip around for Snake Eyes. I don't know how. Again, kind of just weird handles. You use like one finger. And see if the actual bear trap works on the bear. I suppose so. Oh, if I'm doing it right. It just broke off. Not in a bad way. And that just kind of doesn't snap right in, but it goes right back in. So it's, you know, it's plastic and not the best. And then this comes off. So those things are going to happen. But, This guy's beauty, though. Do you have a name for the polar bear? It's based on some quick articulation Goes up and down. I do wish it was on a ball and went side to side. I mean, you can kind of do this a little bit like that, but see how the neck is only going up and down. It does tilt up like that. And it does have a nice round for the ball. So there is some solid articulation, but see how it's kind of hindered to go up and down. The whole height of the bear is the impressive quality of it. It's not really about turning, so to speak, because there's no mid cut here. So it's going to remain stiff all the way through, minus this neck. And then you got similar articulation to the pups, just does have a little bit of a ball here though. Well, it is on a ball, so it does have the hinge to go up and down vertically, but it can go any way you want. And look at that toe articulation, or is it finger articulation? All toes, so quality at the bottom. And then you see just the nice weathering that they did. Nothing too wild, but just enough. It is a polar bear, so you got a nice spray line down there. Add some better lighting so you can get a better look. Yeah, I wonder how accurate it is to a regular polar bear. The head's like white, and then the rest of the body's dark, so that's interesting. Yeah, on the legs, you don't have any double knees or anything, but it does spin on a ball with a vertical hinge. And then there is no actual toe articulation, just the finger articulation. I mean, they're all toes, but you get what I'm saying. Like on the big feet. And it does have a rocker, but it doesn't go... Oh, it does almost go 360. Wow, that's impressive. This thing is pretty impressive for what it is. And be remiss if we didn't compare the two faces. It's pretty much the same thing, just jaw open. Say ah, ah. That purple tongue in there. Look at all the quality there. Even the teeth's got some marks. And essentially the same thing. Got some nice paint around the lips, that gray. And this is like a cute little smile there. He's got such fangs, it's still pretty scary. It's got a shine on the nose like you would see on any pet. And yeah, I mean, this thing's amazing. What else is there to say? Well, we do have a part that comes off. It's almost, you almost can't tell that it's there. I probably wouldn't have found it. And you just got like a brain. Yeah, the flesh. So you got that, and then you can fill it with this one. I don't know where it clicks. It's just around that. Yeah, it just clicks on there, and it's got the arrows. And he wouldn't be smiling, but you pull that off and put the other one in. Yeah, it's decent. Probably could be a little better, but I'm no vet. I don't know if it's supposed to be pink or whatever, but we got some blood and guts. It's a nice touch. Other thing before we do whiskeys and all that fun stuff is this bear balances like hell. Right now, he's about to maul Snake Eyes, but it is pretty cool how tall he is. And yeah, don't give Timber any M.A.S.S device ingredients because he'll mutate. And I just realized Bear was leaning on Snake Eyes there, and I wasn't hitting my point. But yeah, look, he's balancing. There's no blue tack underneath or anything like that. He's pretty great. Yeah, so while I do wish the neck turned here so I could basically put the bear behind him and wrap the neck around, this is as best as I can get. Articulation is still damn solid for a pet. I don't know if I like Fiona better, but the bear is just such a big boy and stands on its feet like wild, crazy. This is clearly a repaint, of course, and having more radiation texture to it would be sick. I get that people would just want a standard Sunbow Snake Eyes, especially since there was one from Super 7, but some more radiation on it, some weathering, pink weathering would have been super cool. Otherwise, this is a fantastic set. We'll go 4.25-4.5. I don't know if that's too low. It's definitely not too high. I think it could be higher. But I love the set. You know, it is a repaint of Snake Eyes, even though, albeit, Commando Snake Eyes is tough to get. And Sunbow Weapon, the canister, you almost just want to go 4.5 on it. And it's available. It's available. You can go on Amazon. I should just give it a 4.5 for that. But for now, we'll go 4.25-4.5. I know. That actually feels kind of low to me. I like the Snake Eyes a lot better. I like the metallic sheen on it. But it's like, is it a 9 out of 10? I don't know. Like, maybe. Look, 4.25 I'm sick of saying it. Stay tuned. Maybe it'll go higher as the year progresses. But for now, it's easily the best thing out of the M.A.S.S device ranking. I think that was clear from the get-go, but it was fun to finally get my hands on all three. Okay, final thoughts on the M.A.S.S device. I think this is a fun set. I really think it's a little bit of a change. The GIJoe team said, hey, you know what? We've been doing teams for a while. Let's do a subline. You know, something cool. Like, let's tell a story within a story. Let's bring back odes to Sunbow. Obviously, Sunbow is all over the Snowcat. Sunbow's been all over the retros. So I thought connecting that with a different subline is good. It's streamlining your content. And they have an open play box to play as they wish. That is the Hasbro GIJoe team, and I think they're doing a terrific job with it. Again, I wasn't excited about ketchup and mustard divers, but I have them, right? So, and people are buying them up like hotcakes. So it's wild. Breaker is well regarded, well reviewed, and this set is kick-ass. Snake Eyes and the Polar Bear is an amazing, fun deluxe set. So all the way through, this is a good subline, and just let me know. As I stated in the beginning of the video, let me know in the comments, do you want to see a second wave of the M.A.S.S device, or do you want them to shift to another element of Sunbow, like Pyramid of Darkness or something? Tell me what stories you want to see. Are there iconic stories up to par with M.A.S.S device that could justify a subline with a Walmart, Target, Amazon, and so forth? So that said, are you grabbing all these? Do you agree with the ranking? You might have Breaker first. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And until then, for Toy Kind of Mood, I'm Trab Moody. We'll catch you in the toy hall, all right? Peace.